Hello, welcome back. So a mate of mine on Facebook got a load of abuse the other night saying that her job's easy. All you do is drive up and down the motorway. You sit on your arse. That's all you do. This job isn't easy. What it is because we've been doing it day in, day out, month after month, year after year, pretty much 5-6 days a week, every week. We've built up that much experience. We make it look easy. And it's like anything, with enough experience, you'll make anything look easy. You take an apprentice welder, get him just weld 2 pieces of steel together first time. Those welds will look like bird shit. You get an experienced welder of 30-40 years, a proper journeyman engineer, weld your 2 pieces of steel together. Those runs of weld will look like works of art. And it's the same with any industry. But no, we're just dumb truckers, just clog up the roads, do this job because we can't do anything else. And I'm sick of hearing that argument. No, you'll find out a lot of people that do this job are people there. They do this job because they can't do any other job, because they can't work with other people, because they can't work with dickheads. They can't work in a warehouse listening to the same bullshit conversations day in, day out. Who won the football last night? Who's shagging who on Coronation Street or EastEnders and all that? We just want to be by ourselves. We're happy in our own little in our own company. And there is drivers out there that have got PhDs, masters. They've been to university, but they realise that that isn't what they want to do, and this is easier than doing that, even though it's not an easy job. It is physically hard, depending what sector you get into. It is mentally hard in every sector you get into. There's the health issues that go along with it. You look at every truck driver, 9 out of 10 of them are overweight. That's because it is not, most of the time, a physical job. Unless you look at the heavy haulage people in the proper physically demanding side of the driving jobs that you can get, then yeah, they're usually fit as a butcher's dog and pretty thin. But majority of general haulage lads, most of them are overweight. So there's the health issues around it that take the toll on your body. There's a hardship there is on your family because you're away a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time, maybe a month, 2 months at a time, especially if you drive abroad. And then there's the mental drain of it, where we're responsible for everyone around us, because our braking distances have increased in bad weather. They're doubled from what they usually are, or tripled, or 4 times, depending how bad the weather is. Then there's the wind. Even with a load on, you still get blown about, especially on curtain siders or fridges and stuff like that. You get blown about. Tippers blown about. Even at 44 ton. The wind's more powerful than you realise. And we've got to keep that in a straight line. And we make it look easy. It's sort of like watching a swan swim across a lake. Yeah, it all looks smooth and calm on the surface, but underneath you're paddling like the devil. And there's people, when you're in lane 2, that'll undertake it and get in your blind spot and sit there. They'll speed match it just to be awkward because they think they're funny. But what they don't realise is you're in they're in your blind spot, you can't see them, so you pull over and bang, and they don't go off onto the hard shoulder, no, they get catapulted out the other side into live traffic. So they get ploughed into by another car or another wagon. And then, oh no, it's the driver's fault. Not the fact that he was driving like a twat, deliberately sitting in your blind spot. Or you get the old codgers with caravans usually, that they'll sit there at 50 mile an hour and you'll get neck and neck with them, bumper to level with them, and they'll put the foot down and they'll accelerate away from you because they'll speed up to 60 mile an hour. So you've got to pull back in, and they'll do this for mile after mile after mile, and you feel like sending them into the hard shoulder because they are just being dickheads. So there's the stress it takes on you as well. Then you lose your temper. And then we get road rage. But we're professional drivers. We're only professional drivers when it goes ticky wampers. Any other time, we're just dumb truckers clogging up the roads and getting in your way. Not the fact that everything you own has been on a truck at some point on its journey from manufacturer to retailer. Everything. And the chemicals that have been delivered to manufacturers to make the stuff that you want to buy, the raw materials, it all gets delivered by a truck at some point. Although we're just driving around just for the fun of it, just to get in your way. And when that truck's doing 52 mile an hour and is getting your way, do you not think when I'm driving at 56 mile an hour, he's getting in my way as well? So yeah, that little 10 minute, 15 minutes of inconvenience of 2 or 3 trucks overtaking Mr. Maritime or Mr. Tesco at 52 mile an hour is a bit of an inconvenience for you. Yeah, but it's an inconvenience for us as well. It's the nature of the beast. If you'd have set off from home 10, 15 minutes earlier, you wouldn't have to rush around like a fucking idiot, and you wouldn't be getting on our backs thinking that, oh, we're just doing this just to hold you up and just to piss you off. We're not. At the end of the day, we've all got a fucking job to do, and this job isn't easy. It's far from it. It's basically depending what sector you go into. Like car transport is ADR, wide loads, abnormal loads, heavy loads. You might say, oh yeah, you're only plated at 44 ton. There's other sectors of it where we could weigh up to 150 ton. But then you've got to have police escort, permits and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and it is a hard way of life. Like I say, it's a hardship it takes on your family. The hours are long, the pay is shit. But the pay is shit, but the hours we do balance it out. Yeah, this hard living ain't as easy as it used to be. Because there's all the rules and regulations around it as well. They change every couple of months. And I could quote you a list of rules and regulations that need to be adhered to this week. Yeah, 6 months time they'll all change again. And we've got to be up to date with them all the time. And none of us are. And anyone who says they are is a liar. I am trying not to swear, but I know I've let a few out. Anyone that can quote me every rule and regulation for this job right now is reading from textbook, because no one knows all of them. Because there's quite a few rules out there that contravene the other rules. Like you've got UK domestic driving rules, EU driving rules, work time directive. Depending if you're doing live animals, you don't need a tachograph, you need to be on a logbook. And it'll go straight over your head. Like I say, a lot of the rules contradict themselves depending on what sector of this industry you're in. So you need to know your shit, and no one does. So that's why whenever we get pulled into a DVSA checkpoint, your horse goes like a rabbit's nose, because you don't know if you're doing right or wrong, and you're sort of hoping and praying that you got it right. But most of the time, if you're on general haulage, you've not really got anything to worry about. It's when you get into your specialist stuff, you've got to have the correct paperwork, the right permits, and all this. And Woman on a Mission is the best one to speak to about doing permit work and stuff like that. She used to do caravans. And she is doing live stream this weekend, so we'll do that, and then however she puts my videos on her channel, I'll do the same and put it on mine. So if you're not signed up to Woman on a Mission, you'll see it on my channel, and I usually call her the Twisted Sister as well, because she's often not. I think I'm going to just save my breath and kill my porridge now, so I'll catch you another day, another way.